Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Marat Saeed. How you guys are doing? Hopefully you guys are doing wonderful today. On this video, I will show you how to change your oil and oil filter on a 2022 Toyota Tacoma. So stay tuned. And here are all the stuff that you need to change your oil. First things first, we have oil funnel from Motorlex, a cartridge oil filter wrench. This is a cartridge filter oil wrench to take out those oil filter housing. You need a couple of these sockets and wrenches, 14mm to take out the drain bolts, a shop rag or catch pan, brake cleaner, any brand you could use, gloves, and oil filter. Usually I recommend using the Toyota brand, and this is the part number you'll be using. It's a 04152-YZZ81. You're gonna need some bigger, longer ratchets to take out the oil filter housing in case it was tight, and a couple of sockets and ratchets. Need a piece of cardboard to lay it on, and that's about it you need it. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, we have to take out this cover right here. There you go. This cover here, it's a full metal thing, and this requires a 12mm socket. You can here, because there's four of them, one there, one here, and there's two more underneath here. One here, as you can see, and the next one right here. So as you can see, I got the cover off, and here are the four screws in my hand. So next time we're gonna drop the catch pan, and we're gonna have to put a 14mm socket with a long extension, and ratchet is a 3/8. We're gonna go underneath and reach to that drain bolt right there. This is a drain bolt. This is where all the oil sits. You're gonna put it there like this and crack it loose. So as you can see, we crack it loose, and then we're gonna unbolt it. So have your gloves ready, because it's gonna get a lot messier, and oil is very contaminated to your skin. So I guess, as you can see, I got the drain bolt release, and the oil is on the catch pan. So we're gonna give it a while until the oil drains out completely. And this is the drain bolt here in my hand. So as all the oil drain out, we're gonna put back the drain plug. We're gonna tighten it up, and then we're gonna get started on the oil filter housing. So our next step now is to get a ratchet with a 3/8 long extension, and we're gonna crack this cap right here. We're gonna unscrew it, and then we're gonna insert a fitting there to drain out all the oil that was inside this oil filter housing. So this is the answer I'm going to be using. This goes here. It's gonna go right under here, and you screw it in until the oil leaks out. As you can see, I inserted a fitting in there, and all the oil is leaking out, so it's going to be done. And then we're gonna unscrew the entire oil filter housing. So I got my oil filter wrench housing, oil filter housing wrench I mean, on a long extension with 3 ratchets. We're gonna insert right in this oil filter housing right above. Make sure those lines are lined up correctly to the slots. Okay. Make sure that these slots are lined up with the tabs on each side, and then you're gonna untorque it and take out the entire oil filter housing. As you can see how I got it like that, and I'm torquing it right now. See, so it's turning. So always use your 2 hands. You want to put your hand right here, and then another hand all the way to the end of the ratchets. So you want to keep this thing as balanced as possible. But I'm showing you how it's all set up. Yeah, don't worry about this tab here, just be careful. But this is a special oil filter wrench you need to use for these oil filter housing. Also, one thing about these plastic oil filter housing, please do not over torque these plastic oil filter housing. If you over torque them, the next person who wants to take it out, that oil filter housing will snap and crack. Okay, that's a bad thing. Those oil filter housing should be torqued at least 12 foot-pounds. That's it, no more than that. What seals this oil leak, the oil, is the O-rings that is on the oil filter housing, which is I'm going to show you later on in this video. So as you can see, I got the oil filter out. This is how it looks like. There's a cartridge filter in there. This is the O-ring I was talking about. So we're going to take it out, we're going to clean up in there everything, and we're going to use the new oil filter and rubber O-rings that's inside this box. Okay, so as you can see this, there you can see that. See, there's a Titan spec right here. It says right here, Titan 2 25 Newton meters. Now, I don't know what's in foot-pounds. Okay, but this is a spec you need to tighten up for these plastic oil filter housing. If you follow these specs, everything should be okay with oil filter housing. It should last you forever. And that's about it. We're going to install the new oil filter and the O-rings. Okay, as you can see, I have the O-rings in this rightful slot. Don't get confused with this slot on top. This is a slot you should be putting right there. If you put it here and you twist it up, notice this line here will cut it off. So you put it on this slot, which is the perfect where the O-ring sits. It sits right here. Also, there's an O-ring on the bottom. I put back the cap here, and then here's a new oil filter housing on top. We're gonna put it back inside. So as you can see, I got the housing all cleaned up. It's now ready to install the oil filter housing. So the oil filter is back into this housing itself. We also tied this cap right here as well, so don't forget to tie it up as well. So it's all set up. It's nice tight to 10 Newton meters, which is probably around 12 or 18 foot-pounds. But this is how much you need to tight this oil plastic filter housing. No more of that. So now we're gonna do some checks right here, make sure everything is tight. So this is tight, and I'm gonna check the drain plug, make sure this is tight as well. And then we're gonna start pouring the oil on the engine. Alright, so I have this Motovax oil funnel that is tied up to the filler neck of putting the oil in. This is our setup. The oil we need to use for this truck is 0W20. So we're going to use the Pennzoil Platinum Gold Synthetic SAE 0W20 with carbon neutral. Nexos 1 Pennzoil. So as you can see, I already put oil. I'm using the 1 gallon of this. That's a 1.25 gallon. That's a 5 quarts of this jug of oil, and an additional quart with a small one. So 5 quarts, 1 quarts, all went inside here. We're going to check the dipstick, make sure it's on the full line. Which is full line. As you can see, it's past the upper dark mark. So the next thing we're going to do is to start the engine and let the oil circulate. Okay, so now we're going to go into a truck and start up the car. And let's go and check for any oil leaks on the bottom. All right. So after you check the oil level for the Tacoma, make sure everything is nice and level, and this job is completed. So the oil level is full. It only requires you to use 6 quarts of oil on this truck. Now for, like I say, the oil filter housing, the plastic ones, make sure you don't over tighten these housings, because the next time when you do an oil change, it'll be so hard for this oil filter housing to come off, and I will crack the oil filter housing. Believe me, I've been through this one, because I'm a mechanic. I work in on a shop with workers, and I come to a lot of those plastic oil filter housing that was over torqued, and then when I try to open them, they seems to crack up and has a hole. Those oil filter housings need to be replaced with another one. So always remember, never ever over torque these oil filter housing. Just give it a good snug. The O-ring does the job of sealing the oil leaks, and that's about it. Don't over tighten these things. And remember, I always use the recommended oil, the 0W20 oil. Those type of oils requires you to change every 5,000 miles, no more than that, because those oils are thinner, and they need to be operated with these BBT solenoids, because these BBT solenoids has a screen in there, and they're like little plungers in there. If you wait for so long for this oil to change, they can sludge up, and these solenoids and the plungers that is in there instead of BBT, they will clog up and they will stop working, and you have multiple coats tripping on your dashboard. So it requires you a lot of fixing and a lot of money to spend. So always change your oil every 5,000 miles if you're using 0W20 or 5W20. I say for that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Always remember to subscribe to me. I'll be posting videos in the future whenever there's any video I'll be making. Always guys, love you guys, take care, and have a blissful day. Bye bye.